Good evening, or close to good morning. It's 12:37 in the morning. Um, so I just finished watching Hokum, starring Adam Scott. He's pretty much the only known person in this movie. Um, this is what you want to call body monster, psychological, supernatural, um, witch horror. And it's described a horror writer visits an Irish inn to scatter his parents' ashes, unaware the property is said to be haunted by a witch. Um, so I'm not really familiar with this person's work, writer and director Damien McCarthy. I think the only thing that I've seen from him, and I don't even remember it that much, so that's not really saying a lot, is Oddity or The Oddity, however, whatever. Um, but I saw the trailer for this movie and I was just like, okay, let's check it out, right? Um, so like I said, just finished watching it. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I need to watch it a second time. But for a first time watch, I honestly wasn't that impressed. There was a lot of um slow moments in this movie, and I don't know, it just didn't really seem scary to me. And apparently, this is what you want to call considered like a witch type movie. And I don't know if there's been a lot of witch film. When I say witch, like horror type witch films, and exploring those territories and whatnot. Um, so instead of me kind of talking about it, I am just going to read the reviews and then maybe dive into it a little bit. So then maybe you can go off of that. Because I don't want to disappoint anybody. Because even a one review that I watched, he actually enjoyed it. He said he gave it an 8. I was like, okay. So I was a little distracted. Anyway, so this first one gives it an 8 out of 10. Actual scary haunted house film like Sinister and Woman in Black. This film feels like those early 2000 haunted house films like The Grudge, The Ring, but much more serious than those films. It has this seriousness and dark tones of Sinister and The Woman in Black. This movie didn't even try that hard to be scary, and it ends up being scary. When I say it didn't try too hard to be scary, I mean they had human characters and villains that made the movie kind of cliche and weak, but when the ghost and ghouls show up on screen, it's scary, like the rabbit faced thing. This is the creepiest things I've seen in the last 30 years. It's sad that a rabbit face has just a few scenes. It could have easily become iconic like Donnie Darko if there's a sequel. That rabbit demon thing needs to be the center of focus. So yeah, I highly recommend this movie. It's good. It just has weak characters and a weird story, but the paranormal parts are terrifying. Um so maybe yeah, I kind of agree with that. There was some moments where okay, there were a few little like jump scares, which it didn't scare me because I was just sitting there looking at it and I was like, okay. Um, but the characters were a little weak. Um, Storyline, I don't know where they were going with that, but just I was like, okay. Anyway, next one is also gives it an 8 out of 10. Spooky, they say. I'm not one to easily exaggerate, but I definitely think that this is one of the scariest movies that I've seen or that I've ever seen. Director Damian McCarthy made an incredible, effective horror film, one that genuinely made me scared to drive home alone at night, which is honestly the best compliment that I can give a horror movie. But Adam Scott does an excellent job of leading this well made film. Hokum is not only one of the best horror movies of this year, it's also currently one of my favorite films of the year, period. I don't know about that one. All I'm going to say, check it out for yourself. Maybe I just need to rewatch it again. I'll feel different about it. But you're setting the bar a little high there. Saying the best movie, period. Are you kidding me? Um, all right. These are like really getting good reviews. All right, I think I'm gonna have to literally rewatch this film and just put stuff away because I sometimes just I get distracted, and so something really needs to grab my attention and like, all right, focus, you know. All right, another 8 out of 10. Tweaks horror for the better. Holcomb plays with the horror genre in ways that are a little different than most horror films. I really like that. The film has many of the same elements of a horror film with supernatural events and beings. There are the scares and eerie feelings that would have been become accustomed to the stories like these. It does a good job of dealing with the normal horror. What I was not expecting was a mystery at the same time. A hunted. Let's do that again. A whodunit does a good job um, with that. Kind of like that elevates the material significantly. This was my favorite part of the film. Adam Scott is exceptional as a protagonist. He plays a depressed, unlikable type of fellow who falls into this deep mystery and has to be inventive to find his way out. It's fun to watch. Overall, a good time at the movies for any horror fan. Um, yeah, Adam Scott is pretty much a dick in this film. Um, like really unlikable. Um, this one gives it a 9 out of 10. Quiet horror, no gimmicks, just pure unease done right. Holcomb doesn't rely on loud scares or cheap tricks that builds tension to the slow way, and uh, that's exactly why it works. The film understands that real horror isn't just jumps at you or jump scares. It's what stays with you. What stands out is the atmosphere. Every frame feels deliberate. Every silence uncomfortable. It doesn't rush to explain itself, and that restraint makes the experience even more unsettling. The storytelling trusts the audience, letting things unfold without over explaining. And what it hits, it doesn't scream, it lingers. It's not for everyone. The slow pace and minimal approach might test your patience if you're expecting constant action. Final verdict, not here to scare you instantly, here to stay in your head long after it ends. Cinema wins, mediocrity loses. So yeah, maybe I'm just not patient with slow paced films. I don't know. I don't know. But again, maybe like I said, I need to rewatch this because these people are really giving some great reviews, and I think just for my first time watching it, it's not gonna be great. Just gonna be honest. This one also, which is the last one, is a 9 out of 10. Damian McCarthy continues to improve. Hokum far exceeded my expectations, and that comes from someone who enjoyed his previous movie, Oddity. Hokum is rich with atmosphere, tension, and delivers on scares while not an entirely unique premise. Hokum achieves where other similar titles flounder. Characters are rich, the film is effortlessly funny without being annoying, and the scares are plentiful. I think this film will be a new classic people reach out for every Halloween season. Um, I don't know. Sometimes I wish people would put their ages on certain reviews so that way I can tell um what age range are you? You know what I'm saying? So I can like test their own mediocrity. Um okay, so with all that being said and done, now I can kind of like even though like it kind of some people already kind of said what they said with not going too much into it, but I can say okay, so Adam Scott, he's a writer, and he also was going to this Irish inn to not only spread his parents' ashes, but he was trying to finish writing his either his novel or just whatever he was writing on. Whatever he was writing on, I don't know. Along with this slow-paced movie, did not make any sense. Like it opens up where this boy and what I'm assuming is the father is out like in some like a sand dune, and they're just walking until they find this circle, don't know, and the father finds this bottle which had a message in it, and it seemed like he was going to smash it over the son's head, doesn't do that, and then excuse me, um and then you're seeing Adam Scott. He's in his um I guess his own apartment, house, whatever. And he's starting to see like something like in a shadow. Once he does that, like he's shining a light over into that area, like a desk lamp. Doesn't see anything over there. Once the light gets back on him, there's something behind him that he turns around. It's not there. Certain things like that is like what you like maybe consider like a jump scare. I call those cheap tricks to try to get you out of your seat, and just like stuff like that is just not scary to me. But whatever, right? Um. Anyway, so you'll have characters such as Jerry, who is a what do you call it, like a bellhop. Um, Fergal, I believe he was one of. Let me make sure that was him, and I'm not thinking about anybody else. It was either him. I think that was him. Fergal. Again, first time watching it, so I'm trying to remember their names. He was one of these guys that were like in the woods, and he came across him, and there were like shrooms involved, and so seeing some shit that probably wasn't there. Um. Oh wait, Albie. I'm getting I'm getting him mixed up with Jerry. Albie was the bellhop. Apparently, an annoying bellhop to Adam Scott's character, which his name is Weird name, but whatever, whatever. He was like talking to him, and like he recognized him, saying like, "Oh, I love your work. What are you working on next? I have a script for you if you don't mind checking it out." And yeah, he just didn't have enough for him. Like I said, Adam Scott's character was very an asshole type. Um, and yeah, so apparently he'd ask like, "Oh, what's up with the room above, like a suite, like it's locked off?" And then he was like, "Oh, it's haunted." And he didn't hear him, which, or I'm sorry, they believe him. And the word hokum is basically a word saying that it's full of shit. You're full of shit, basically. Don't believe you. Stuff like that. Um, so yeah, a lot of the stuff was happening inside the inn, and yeah, it was just it was a slow burn for me. I don't know what else to say. Um, I'm not a fan of films like that, but again, maybe I just need to rewatch it. I don't know. I don't know. It ain't gonna be anytime soon, but I don't know. Maybe like in a week or two, I'll like I don't know, check it out again and say, all right, then maybe my mind might be changed. But for right now, I'm going to be generous enough, and this is me being generous. I'm going to give it like a six. A six. And again, maybe I'll change my mind later. I don't know. But for right now, that's just what it is. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not here for the cheap tricks. It's just like, ooh, let me peek through your sheets and see my creepy face. I'm just like, do better than that. Um, but yeah. Anyway, that's just my thought on that. My review, my rating, and if you do happen to check it out, let me know your thoughts. Also, please, 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 please subscribe if you haven't already. Um, as I've mentioned before, I'm really trying to work on my channel, trying to work on building it more. I'm trying to constantly post. So yes, please help me out. All right, so that's all that I got, and a part of me for being shirtless, but I I was in bed and I just like fuck it. Didn't feel like putting on a shirt. So you're not seeing everything, okay? So anyway, um, yeah, like I said, subscribe, leave your comments down below. If you are going to watch it or if you have watched it, let me know. Anyway, see you next time.